I knew it was going to happen. I've just recorded a video talking about how George Evans has been spotted at the racecourse ground ahead of a potential move to Wrexham AFC. I've discussed the type of player we can expect. Of course, he signs as soon as I stop recording the video, so it's been announced. George Evans signs for Wrexham from Milwall on a 2-year deal. He's able to play tomorrow against Tranmere. He said he's delighted to be here. It's something that came around very quick. He's excited and desperate to get going in a Wrexham shirt. It's a really big challenge and hopefully he can have a really positive season. So yeah, a 2-year deal. Welcome to Wrexham, George Evans. Here's my analysis on the type of player he is. It is the best time of year because it is transfer deadline day, which means now Wrexham AFC are back in the EFL. We have to go with the rules that we have to sign our players by September 1st. It was different before we were in the National League, but it has changed because we are now back in the EFL. So of course there's going to be drama, there's going to be players rumoured, and today we're going to be talking about one of those players that is nailed on to sign for Wrexham. Before we do get talking about this player, make sure to get down there, subscribe for all the best Wrexham AFC content. I'm going to say there's going to be a few videos that are going to be released today, so you do not want to miss these, so make sure to click down and hit the red subscribe button. So Millwall midfielder George Evans has been spotted at the racecourse ground today ahead of a transfer to Wrexham AFC. Now the Peckham Pirlo is set to sign for Wrexham. Peckham Pirlo is the name that Millwall fans have given him over the years, so yeah, he's set to sign for Wrexham. We've seen him outside the ground, we've seen him in the training gear. It all seems just a matter of time until he does sign. Now this is going to be a great signing in my opinion because he's coming off playing 3 times for Millwall this season already, 2 in the Championship, 1 in the Carabao Cup. He's 28 years old, he's got a ton of experience in the Championship already, playing over 140 games in the past 6 years, all for Millwall, like I said, in the Championship. He's going to be a great addition to our midfield and give us that experience in the midfield 3. Now, just reading off what a Millwall fan has said on Twitter now, his words were, he has been described as a very good player with very good vision. He's a very good passer of the ball and is impressed in the back 3 when he's played centre-back in the back 3. So who does that remind you of? That reminds you a bit of Tom O'Connor, so he could have shades of the type of player that Tom O'Connor is. He's never really got a look in at Millwall, but will do a great job in League 2 for Wrexham. So promising words. Like I said, we don't really need to gather much of an impression of the player he is because we know over 140 games in the Championship, 28 years old, he's got that experience, we know what he's going to bring to the table. If I'm being honest, this is a really good bit of business from Parky. Now the last 2 seasons he hasn't really spent much time in the spotlight for Millwall in their seasons in the Championship, but we can sort of gather a good indication of the type of player he is by going off his stats in the 21-22 season, where he did make 23 appearances, playing half their games in the Championship that season, playing 1,150 minutes in a Millwall shirt. He did actually average 40 passes per game for Millwall. He often played about 55-60 minutes per game, so which took him above 60% of other players in the Championship. So that stat alone shows that he can dictate the play really well in that midfield. He also did average 0.94 key passes per match in that season, which was obviously one of his main attributes according to footystats.com. Now that's promising because it's something we've missed, I think, when we haven't had Elliot Lee or Jordan Davis on that pitch, that killer pass to whoever's playing up front. I think we have missed that creativity and someone that can play that killer pass, but we've seen with George Evans, even though he's a centre defensive midfielder or a centre midfielder, he can still make that really good pass despite not playing that more attacking role. Now looking at Evans' defensive stats, it's clear to see that he's more effective in that defensive role. So if we're reading off the stats here, he's won 24 aerial duels in the 21-22 season in that centre defensive midfielder role, which was better than 76% of other players in the Championship. He made 25 tackles as well from that centre defensive midfielder role, which bettered 74% of players in the league, and he did actually make 16 interceptions, 1.25 interceptions per match. So it's clear to see that he will add a hell of a lot to that midfield. Experience, he can pass the ball really well, dictate the play, and he's incredible when it comes to defending too. And also don't forget as well, you can look at his attacking stats. They're obviously not the greatest, but it's clear to see that although he can play that defensive role really well, he could, I'm not saying he will be, he could be a threat from maybe corners, because we've seen the amount of aerial duels he's won. He's obviously good in the air, so who knows, he could chip in with a couple of goals from corners or set pieces. Evans was an ever-present in the midfield for Millwall, also in the 2021 season, where he did play 2,141 minutes in a Millwall shirt, so he also made 733 accurate passes, so it's clear to see we're definitely getting a player that's similar style to Tom O'Connor, Luke Young. They play more in that defensive role, they do a lot of passing. So is that a sign of what's to happen with Tom O'Connor and Luke Young, or are we just doing the sensible thing and stacking up our options in that position? Overall, this is going to be a great signing. I think we sort of know by now that George Evans is set to sign for Wrexham. He's going to be in a Wrexham shirt and he's going to be announced very, very soon. I'm really hoping that he doesn't get announced after I've stopped recording this video, because I've said if he signs, but yeah, it's going to be a good signing. Great business from Park. He seems out of favour at Millwall at the minute, so we could have got him for a cheaper transfer fee. We're obviously going to be paying a transfer fee for him, unless Millwall come out and say that he has been released or he's had his contract terminated, which I doubt will be the case, because I want to get money for a player that's obviously played 3 times them so far this season. But yeah, Millwall fans seem to think he hasn't really got a look in the past 2 seasons, or really when he's been there at the club, but he's made 140 appearances, so we're getting a midfielder that's got experience, and I'm very, very excited. So yeah, if you want more Wrexham transfer news across the day, it's going to be a busy one. Get down there, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be in about an hour or so, about our next possible signing or signing.